What's up, everyone? This is Ryan Cramer with PingPong Payments. Welcome to Crossover Commerce. I'm your host, Ryan. I am lovely. I think it's a lovely day. I'm sweating already today. It feels like summer today outside. I don't know. I know, Jenna, you're over there in California, but I wanted to welcome everyone here joining us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're consuming this podcast. I am lucky to have Jenna Lieber here of TurnKey Product Management. I'll go ahead and I can never do Jenna justice when introing her, so I'll just go ahead and let her intro herself. Jenna, why don't you take it away and kind of give it a little bit of background about who you are, what you do for TurnKey, and we'll go from there.
Totally. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for having me on. Really appreciate it. So my name is Jenna. I am the Client Services Director over at TurnKey Product Management. I have been working with TurnKey Product Management from the start, where we manage different brands on Amazon, fitting in a bunch of different categories, ranging from competitive categories like supplements, sports equipment, different consumables, you name it, our team has been a part of it. So over at TurnKey, what we basically do is we offer three main services. We offer full service management, where pretty much we do it all for you. We do the marketing, we're going to do the promotions, we're going to do the optimizations of the listings, PPC, you name it, we do it for you. We also offer just straight PPC management, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then we also offer one-on-one coaching, where we will help your team and coach you guys up on the specific areas that you guys need help with. So that's a little bit about me and TurnKey.
That's awesome. That's a lot to pack in there. I know working with you guys in the past on a partnership level, I know like different clients you've helped out with the past. What's kind of your favorite thing day to day in the role that you're working with right now?
Honestly, the day-to-day, what we like the most is just the challenges that come with Amazon, right? A lot of people see dealing with Amazon as a hassle, but we see it as an opportunity. When you spend a lot of time on Amazon, you're able to see those opportunities for people, and we're able to give that to the brands that we work with. So that's what I really like is, at the end of the day, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just slap it up on Amazon, it'll work out well. Totally not.
The sales will just come in, right?
Yeah,
There's no problem.
Right. Yep, exactly. So that's what we really like, is just finding those opportunities and applying them to the brands that we work with.
That's awesome. And for everyone who's new to this show, my job is to bring people in day to day, week to week, releasing and kind of giving people information that they can use to kind of level up their knowledge with the e-commerce game. It's no bias approach. It's the people I've been lucky enough to work with in the past. My background is experienced in e-commerce in various capacities with wholesale distribution, the SaaS space, and working with a company called Viral Launch. And then currently I'm obviously working in the fintech space with PingPong Payments. But my job is to educate the people and touch on these certain topics. But today I'm really excited to talk about Q4. It's like Christmas season before Christmas is even here. Super stressful. Everyone's talking about what things to buy. And it's still 80 degrees outside. Like, what's going on? So as you know, Jenna, there's just a lot to consume. And thinking about it, especially kind of now where we are today in the pandemic era, kind of threw a wrench in everyone's business planning for the year. They call it planning. This is something I think we're in month 7 now of it. What's kind of where does TurnKey kind of pivoted from this, and where are they kind of directing their clients to kind of soften the blow, but also maybe not seeing such a blow? What's kind of your take on that perspective?
Yeah, I think right now it's very easy for everyone to feel overwhelmed and stressed. What we keep telling everybody is, yes, obviously, the pandemic has made things pretty challenging for people selling on Amazon, but also new opportunities have really come from it. At the end of the day, especially when the first pandemic, when it first started, people did turn to Amazon for shopping and everything like that. People that were never on Amazon did actually make their way to Amazon. So So as we are heading into Q4, a lot of new Prime members are now a part of Amazon. So yes, obviously we went through challenges back in March when Amazon shut everything down, but this is the time to recover. This is the time to really direct that traffic to Amazon and let's make some sales, let's make some stuff happen. And then, I mean, as far as how can we take advantage of these opportunities, what we're trying to portray to all of our clients, it's really plan. And that goes to promotional planning. That's especially inventory with the different threshold situations we have going on. Planning out right now is the most important thing that we all can do. So it's understanding, when are my promotions going to be running? When do I need to be plugging in external advertising? When do I need to get those shipments in? When do I need to meet those customer service needs, right? That's why it's super important right now, especially just keep planning and stay in front of it is what we're trying to make sure everyone's on.
Absolutely. And I know the newest thing that a lot of people, especially if you're selling on Amazon, this might be the first time you're going through all this. They might have thought, oh yeah, Amazon Prime Day happens in July. That's an easy, put on your calendar. But especially with planning inventory for something as big as Prime Day, which, if you don't know, is actually going to happen next week. What's kind of that first look at what are you telling people to do now? Because it's such a short notice. You can't have more inventory in stock for people, for their products and listings. What's kind of your directive to those clients and for people going through this for the first time?
Yeah. So if you're in your first Prime Day, wow, what a time to be a part of your first Prime Day. That is for sure.
If you can make it through this, you can make it through anything.
Oh no, right? Seriously, it's crazy. So, as far as Prime Day goes, my biggest recommendation for you guys is to obviously stay on top of it. So what I mean by that is, obviously from the PPC perspective, don't run out of budget, right? So that means staying on top of it, watching it all day. That's one of the biggest pieces of advice. Now, unfortunately, I'm so sorry about Bruce, guys.
That's okay.
So he's upset. I'm really sorry. So anyway, for PPC specifically, that's something you guys can actively be doing throughout Prime Day, is just making sure you're not running out of budget. That is the number one thing you can do. Now, unfortunately, I can't give you guys advice on inventory, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you have not sent inventory in for Prime Day, it's not going to be checked in. But I can give you guys advice on inventory for the rest of Q4, which would be send your inventory in as soon as possible. Amazon has said that in order for your inventory to be checked in for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, it must have been sent in by October 22nd. So you guys have some time for that. Now, in addition to that, again, Prime Day, obviously it's coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, but you guys can still sign up for coupon clippings. That is still an option. Highly suggest doing that. Coupon clippings have a much higher visibility than other promotional opportunities. And then on top of that, I recommend doing some external advertising, whether that means emailing your customer list, if you have an email list, if it's Facebook advertising through your Amazon customer list, where you guys are actually able to grab your Amazon customer list, plug it into Facebook, and Facebook can remarket to them. So there's a few options there, but highly suggest for Prime Day and specifically, get that external advertising out there, because it is going to be incredibly important, especially this time around.
Absolutely. So those are all great tips. Obviously, it's a little bit too late. Obviously, you would typically be able to check off the list when Prime Day mostly happens. Obviously, this is a year unlike any other kind of e-commerce selling is going on. What's kind of your, expectations in terms of what's the best strategy to do? Is that PPC and putting a lot of that budget into that? Is it more solutions? Is it, having your customer service amped up? What's kind of your best Amazon strategies? What would you suggest for that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, be prepared to spend more money for PPC for Prime Day in particular. That's what I mean by watching your budgets. You don't want to run out of PPC ad spend halfway through the day. You want to stay on budget throughout the day. So just making sure you're watching that. 100%, you need to be ready for additional customer service needs. At the end of the day, when your sales increase, so do customer service needs, right? So it is really important to have a plan for that. But best practices is, unfortunately, it's kind of an all hands on deck situation, right? We need to make sure those emails are going out on time, right? We need to make sure we have those promotions set up, right? So again, if you haven't set up your coupon clippings or your promotional codes for Prime Day, don't worry about it. You can still set those up, but I suggest doing that sooner rather than later, just so you can get some external advertising queued up as well. But it really is an all hands on deck situation. You want your PPC person watching PPC closely that day. You want to make sure your customer service team is ready to rumble probably 2 to 3 days after Prime Day, obviously, because that's when those purchases will roll in and people will have questions. And really, just at the end of the day, with Prime Day, we just say stay on Amazon, be present, because things can happen. So that's really our best advice. And again, it's a great day. Obviously, lots of sales will be coming in for sure. It's just be kind of ready for everything.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of something that's unique about this year is not only that we are living in a pandemic, which obviously, hopefully, everyone's staying safe. I think what we're hearing, especially on our end, is that a lot of people are just going to avoid those traditional brick and mortar stores, right? The off Amazon strategy is there's just going to be less traffic out those other places, and that money is probably going to go to a lot of other places. Number one option, probably Amazon. So I think that's where a lot of just do you think like a lot of just natural organic traffic is going to be there, or what's kind of like those ways to stand out in that capacity? Is it just continuing to advertise and trying to stay up to date, maybe getting above board reviews and ratings or highlighting, or is that just like promoting on social media? What are you guys looking at as a holistic approach?
Yeah, I mean, so what's interesting about Prime Day, obviously it made its way to Q4, which is just interesting in general. But what made it even more interesting, I don't know if you guys heard, but Target and I believe Walmart as well said they are going to have their own Prime Day. So what that means for you guys, obviously, most of us are not selling on Amazon and on Target and things like that. But what that means for you guys is obviously the whole, I don't want to say the whole internet, but what I mean to say is there's going to be a lot of advertising happening, right? Target's going to be emailing everybody. Walmart's going to be emailing everybody. Amazon's going to be emailing everybody. I mean, I'm seeing, during the NBA finals, we're seeing Amazon Prime commercials. So what's pretty much happening is there's going to be a lot of noise on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And the reality is, in order to be noticed, you need to be doing something actively to get in front of your customers. So that's when we talk about email marketing, right? So if you have that email list, use it, because not all Amazon brands are going to have it. So that's an advantage that you have that maybe another Amazon brand does not have. If you're really great at Facebook advertising, grab that customer list from Amazon and plug it into Facebook advertising. We've seen that about 7 out of 10 times. Facebook is able to find those customers and you're able to market to them through Facebook advertising. Now, let's say maybe you don't have the budget for that. Organic posting is fine as well. You can post organically on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever is a fit for your brand. You guys can go ahead and do that too. At the end of the day, it's get noticed. We have a lot of people that have a texting list. That's another really great option. I know ManyChat with their new promotional language issue that might throw a wrench in there. So if you can find a way to phrase it correctly and not get in trouble with ManyChat, that's an option as well. But pretty much what we're kind of trying to tell people is get in front of your customers the best way possible, because the reality is you are now not only competing with other Amazon brands, but you're competing with Target, Walmart, all those other places that are trying to compete directly with Amazon. So do whatever you can to get in front of your customers.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are just joining, my name is Ryan Cramer. I'm with PingPong Payments. This is my show, Crossover Commerce, where we're talking anything and everything e-commerce related. Jenna Lieber from TurnKey Product Management was so kind to join me with her busy schedule. I know she's constantly running around with her head. You might have gotten back from vacation. Were you out of the office, or hopefully it was doing something fun?
Oh yeah, no, I was up in Big Bear actually. So just a little vacation,
right.
During the pandemic. So not
doing the safe outdoors distance thing. I love it. Exactly. That's always cool. I know fall break's coming up. Hopefully everyone's staying safe out there, but no, it's awesome. I could use it today. It's beautiful out there. I'm here talking to you, which is, I'm perfectly fine with that. I love getting knowledge from people who've done this before. I never want to ask people what their predictions are, but what's kind of a safe assumption that you think you would tell people if you're going to give like one piece of like pretty solid advice or your kind of goals and what you think are going to happen, Q4, what do you think it's trending towards? Is it, just completely more sales and more money, or is it, a certain product that's going to be a hot commodity? What's kind of like your biggest key takeaway that you're kind of seeing trending towards that?
Yeah. Truthfully, I believe that Prime Day itself is going to most likely be the biggest one they've had. I think that for a few reasons, right? Because obviously you heard me touch on the fact that there are more Prime members now than we've ever had. And a lot of that came from people jumping on to purchase at a social distance level. So that alone, I think, is a really good reason. And I mean, I also agree with that same thing for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, because I know like Target, for example, they said they are not going to have the Black Friday big blowout sale because they don't want people that close together. Right. So again, I think you're going to see a lot of people that used to like the hustle and bustle of Black Friday shopping are now going to turn to Amazon. So I personally believe that we're going to see a big uptick on Amazon for those 3 days in particular. Now, specific products, that's super tough, because we've seen a lot. Personally, our team's seen a lot of industries that have been hit a little harder. So, like we've seen that, unfortunately, sports equipment has struggled a little bit more just because, gyms have closed and things like that. We've seen supplements have a really big uptick, which, who knows if that's going to continue. We obviously know Q1's coming up for those guys, so that will probably be really big for them. So I don't have really necessarily a product in mind that I think is going to absolutely crush it. I just think the people that are going to crush it are the ones that are taking advantage of those other opportunities, like lightning deals, because you can still book lightning deals up until October 10th. So we do have 2 days for that. So
yeah,
I'm sure you guys are doing
end of
that
this week. Go there right now, put some lightning deals in. Yeah, get that influence in that capacity. Very interesting. I've kind of made this kind of my own assumption, is that I know back when everyone was going into quarantine that there was a lot of logistical nightmares that Amazon just couldn't keep up with. Now, do I think they've gotten those flaws out of the way? Hopefully. Do you think that there's just going to be an extraordinary long shipping time in terms of like logistics and delivering these, because we're expecting this uptick of sales? Do you think that like deliverables in terms of goods getting to customers, that's going to start stretching out into, since Prime Day is in October, you're going to start seeing Thanksgiving time by potentially before you start seeing your product. Is that a safe assumption to think?
So, I personally like to believe that they've worked this out. I know none of us are really big fans of the threshold limits, but I do actually think those threshold limits are there for a solid reason. At the end of the day, putting those threshold limits in, Amazon has been able to really, cut it down to where it's only the necessary shipments are coming into Amazon. They're not having an excess amount of inventory being shipped in. So they're obviously still going to move slower. There's no question there. But getting inventory in, should be faster than it would have been if they didn't put these thresholds in. So that's one thing to consider. Now, as far as them getting shipments out to customers, again, I like to think they've got it handled a little bit more. They sent us all an email back maybe in July. And I want to say they said they added about 100,000 warehouse workers, I believe is what they said. Don't want to misspeak there, but I believe that's what they said. And I believe they also said they opened a pretty large amount of additional warehouses as well. So I like to think they're more under control, but the reality is you never know. I've seen them also start to rely more and accept more people in the seller fulfilled program. So that's another potential that they're going to start relying on that more. I know also a lot of people have FBM warehouses as a backup. And if any of you guys are wondering, I don't have an FBM warehouse and I need one, you can always reach out to our team. We can help you guys out with that. But, Ryan, to your point, we really don't know. Did Amazon solve the problem? I can't 100% answer that confidently. So that's why it is important to have that backup plan in place, to have an FBM warehouse as a backup. And then for those of you guys that are confident in your warehouse, your warehouse can make shipment dates and things like that, highly suggest you get on the wait list for Seller Fulfilled Prime, because I totally agree. March showed us the weakness of Amazon a little bit, right? There was kind of a
The stress test of like
Yeah,
a national,
yeah,
everyone flooding there at once. It was literally a
yeah,
national stress test.
yeah. So because of that, we did have multiple clients get on that wait list, and we've actually had a few get accepted. So they are slowly but surely allowing people in, but I can see Amazon start to allow more people to do that route to save the stress on their warehouses. But again, I like to think they have it figured out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I do think we have enough space between Black Friday and Prime Day to kind of give them some space, but we'll see, I guess, is kind of my answer.
Always waiting and seeing. There could always be something that pops up in between. Hopefully not. Hopefully, obviously, for those of you relying on fulfilling quickly and getting that out the door, hopefully you guys are still, you're not going to see those hiccups like a few people are expecting. What's the, I'm going to throw you a curveball here. What was the last product that you ordered for yourself on Amazon?
The last product I ordered for myself on Amazon, okay, so it was actually for Bruce, so it doesn't count, I guess, for me.
But basically family, yeah. So for yourself, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But I ordered him those the dental cleaning dog bone things.
Okay, so more like a whimsy, I think is what they call it. Maybe that's brand. Ooh, maybe I'm brand loyal. Ooh. That's something that just off the top of my head, almost like Kleenex or tissue. Something you're just not thinking about it. But that's interesting. I know that there's some other things, as a lot of people are, as a consumer, myself, I've never personally sold on Amazon, for those of you who've never listened to the show, but I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of like behind the scenes. Obviously, Amazon introduced the whole Prime badge, Prime label, and what entails with that. And a lot of that is the shipping, the 2-day, the expectations of what it is to get, your product quickly. Now it's like 2-hour shipping. They've narrowed that window. With the news of Walmart Plus coming out, I don't know if you guys work with a lot of clients on that platform. What do you think that would ever challenge Amazon's Prime, Prime entity itself? Because they are charging $97, which is what Prime used to be charged at. As a consumer, is there a benefit that you think with Walmart Plus versus, Prime?
Yeah. So this is a passionate subject for me, actually.
Right. I've hit a nerve. I love it.
Yeah, we do. We are branching that way. We're looking into Walmart and helping people with Walmart. We do have a few clients that are part of Walmart. From a seller's perspective, imagine Amazon 10 years ago. That's where Walmart currently is at with their selling platform. It's a complete disaster. If to be
frank, it's a disaster.
It's a disaster. Like, I'm sorry, Walmart, if you're listening, but you guys need to fix that. No, I mean, if you guys think like seller support is terrible, like go talk to Walmart. I mean, there are tickets that will stay open for weeks and weeks on end, no matter how much you follow up, it doesn't matter. So truthfully, from a seller's perspective, it's really tough. But I do think that eventually they will be able to compete with Amazon, because I think, the fact that they have the brick and mortar stores as well, that helps. I obviously know Amazon's tried to do that with like Kohl's and things like that, but it's just a little different. Walmart kind of has that appeal where they can actually like go in the store, return stuff, and you can also do shopping there as well. It kind of fits a little bit better than the whole Kohl's situation that Amazon's trying to do. Mm-hmm. So I can see Walmart competing, and there's obviously that appeal of wanting to get there before everybody else, right? Because at the end of the day, that's kind of what happened with Amazon, right? Those of you guys that were on Amazon before other people totally are kicking butt, right? You guys have all the reviews. You guys have that advantage that maybe people that are newer to the space that, they can't compete yet for that reason. So there is that advantage of, getting into Walmart, being the first layer. So that is why our team, there is a reason our team is looking into it. I really do believe that it will compete eventually. I do think there is a benefit of getting involved with it, especially because they've teamed up with Shopify, which is really helpful. So you can see they're making moves to try to improve probably those things that I personally have issues with, right? And then, additionally to that, I go back to March and how we all were feeling about Amazon. We had clients that had 30 plus day shipping windows, right? Really ruined or hurt them on Amazon during that time. And there is the appeal of the more channels that you guys can come up with, the more channels you're more comfortable with, the better you're going to be able to serve your customer and be there for your customer. Because again, hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. Hopefully we're not faced with something like this again. But we never suggest to any people we work with that they should be solely relying on Amazon. At the end of the day, you do not want all your eggs in one basket. So
100%. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic tip. I know we're running up on time. What's kind of the last thing that maybe you want to leave people with? What's TurnKey working on right now? What do you think? If we didn't cover something, how can people get in touch with you and your team? I know Jeff and you are busy. What's kind of that way to contact you guys and to maybe work with you or just ask you further questions on what you guys see? What's kind of that way to contact you guys?
Yeah. So we have a whole team behind us. So if you guys have any questions about anything we talked about today, definitely reach out to us by going to turnkeyproductmanagement.com/call. And you can set up a call with one of our experts and we can help you out with any specific issues you guys are having and also discuss any services you guys might be interested in discussing. Now, as far as signing off, talking about Q4, honestly, guys, the best advice I can give each and every one of you is stay on top of it, right? So plan accordingly. You heard that deadline there, October 10th. That's the latest that you could schedule things like lightning deals. So get those scheduled ahead of time because if you have those available, not everyone has that available. So it's a big advantage. And honestly, just look for different opportunities, right? Be on Amazon, pay attention to those emails Amazon sends out. I know they're annoying, but pay attention to them because it's new opportunities that you guys can take advantage of. And truthfully, just plan ahead, especially as we head into Q4 and inventory situation being the way it is. Just all you guys can do is plan ahead, get those promotions set up, get your inventory in, and just pay very close attention to your account as we enter these busy times. So.
Absolutely. And like I said, whether you're a first time going through Prime Day for the first time or an Amazon seller going through for the first time through Q4, it's bananas, it's bizarre. You'll sell more than you ever thought, but also be smart about it, right? You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. Just if you need a consultant or if you just have questions in general, Jenna and her team are fantastic just to answer one-off questions. But I want to thank you so much for jumping on today. Hopefully everyone who's listening today took a little bit of information away. If you're listening to this on a podcast, act right away. You can obviously hear this on anywhere that you consume your podcast. We're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, where all this information is going to consume you, hopefully, and give you some leg up on your competition. I will be back with more people talking about Q4, more people like Jenna who have lived it. They've sold on Amazon. They breathe it every single day. So hopefully this helps you, Jenna, get kind of the word out to the people, what you guys are seeing. And I want to thank you for jumping on board today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really fun chatting with you guys. And again, if you guys have questions, our whole team's ready to help. Just let us know.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Again, this is Crossover Commerce. I'm Ryan Cramer. And for Jenna Lieber, thanks again. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.